Let me set the scene. It was 3-4 months ago. I'm on the phone to my mom back in Leeds, England. She says, Adam, have you heard of Call Blocker? I said, no, what's Call Blocker? She said, this is the latest, greatest, best thing, and everybody in England is buying it. I immediately went to work with our team on the Monday night show to bring Call Blocker to the United States of America for the first ever time on home shopping. Folks, this is the world's #1 call blocker. If you have ever struggled with nuisance calls, solicitors, those robotic calls that always dial and dial and dial, everybody is buying this product. I really want to start by thanking and introducing this amazing gentleman. His name is James Murden. He is here. He's flown all the way in from England.
Good to see you.
James, my friend. James is leaving literally about 5 or 6 hours after this is sold out. Do you know so many folks have already pre-ordered this? We are now already under, or just about to fall under 1,000.
Wow.
So this is going to be gone in a heartbeat. It is on FlexPay. It is free shipping and handling. James, I already know all about it because my mom was preaching to me, so I'm converted. Tell everybody about Call Blocker.
Do you know what? This has done so well in the UK. Every time we see this, it sells out. Now, it's the first time here in the States, and it's so easy to use. If you get frustrated by nuisance phone calls, whether it is someone trying to sell you something, trying to ask you to complete a survey, a political call, a robocall, all you do to block them is push this red button. Now, this is compatible with any phone line with caller ID. So it doesn't matter who provides your phone line service, doesn't matter what make or model of phone that you have, this will work for you. Even if you have lots of phones in your home on one line, you only need one of these. There's no subscriptions, there's no ongoing charges, there's no batteries, there's no power supply. You simply have 2 connections on the back. And all you're going to do is you're going to plug your phone line into one, and you're going to plug the other end into your phone. The cable comes inside the box. That's it. That's how you set it up. There's no installation. You don't need to register it. There's nothing to do. As long as you can plug a cable into the socket, the other end into your phone, that's it. You're ready. And that's how simple this is. We've actually got one here set up, ready to show you if you need to.
And folks, they are just letting me know we're having a great night tonight, obviously, with a lot of people dialing in brand new things we've never seen before. Please bear with us. We have a lot of folks in the ordering process. We have every lady and gentleman across the United States taking calls in our call centers. If you want to get to the front of the queue, go online at hsn.com. This is a one and done. There are no other presentations scheduled again. I desperately wanted to feature it because it's a new invention from England, but it is blazing a trail. You know, in the UK, like here in the States, we do suffer from nuisance callers, and it seems that it just spreads and spreads and spreads, and 1 call becomes 2 calls, becomes 3 calls. This is going to stop that. It's going to block that. There are people that will tell you, who have this in England, that they bought it because they wanted to block their ex-boyfriend calling them.
And mother-in-law as well sometimes.
You know what I mean?
And they can unblock them too. That's the great thing. If you block somebody by mistake, you can unblock that number too.
Which is really important. So you're not committed if you don't want to be. So let's look at the device because it's small, it's simple. Show us what you've done to set it up.
So this is really easy. So all I've done is I've plugged my phone line into one end and I've plugged the phone into the other. So that's it. It's now ready to go. You can see we have this fantastic 3-inch digital screen. So right now, if the screen on your phone isn't big enough for your caller ID, this will be even bigger. When you get a call come in, the number comes up on the screen. If you recognize it straight away as a number you don't want to answer, you can push this big red button straight away. It cuts them off, stores their number. They can never get through to you again. However, if you do receive a call and you think, I'm not sure who that is, it could be a friend, could be a family member, I'm going to ask someone from the control centre to give me a call right now, and we're going to imagine they're a nuisance. They're not really a nuisance, but we'll pretend they're a nuisance.
You're very kind.
Just for today.
Okay, so we're going to see if somebody's going to call. You know, it's funny because there is somebody who is known to be a really bad crank caller. In fact, his name, I believe, is Greek for crank caller. Akos Chankora, is that you? Akos, are you dialing me again?
I am.
You just won't leave me alone.
Can't get through. What the heck? Hello?
The line's busy. You can't get through. I blocked you.
I can't believe this. Adam, pick up. Oh. Come on.
Folks, we're going to help Akos.
Do you know what?
I think he's got the wrong number.
We can do it here too. We can do it here, okay? So I'm going to call this number, and I'm going to demonstrate to you just how easy this is to use and how anybody can use this, okay? So I'm going to call that right now. I'm going to turn it on speaker so you can hear it ringing. Okay, so the phone's ringing. The number comes up on the screen.
So your number's coming up.
Yep. Okay, now Adam, I want you to take the call. Pick up the phone. Okay. Hi. Hi, I was just wondering, would you like to vote for us? We'd love to count on your vote, and we'd really appreciate it. So just push the red button.
Will you stop calling me goodbye?
But I got... Oh. So that's it. It says successful on the screen. My line has gone dead. Okay? Now here's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to hit redial.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking, he just hung up on me. I'm going to call him again.
Right, you're persistent.
And let me put it on speaker so you can hear what happens. That's it. No ringing. Your phone didn't ring. I just get a disconnected dial tone. And that number is added into the memory of the call blocker and can never get through again. Now, that could have been an international call, could have been from a cell phone, could have been from a landline. And the great thing with this, it arrives pre-programmed with the 200 worst reported nuisance callers. So the second you plug this in, you're going to get that reduction in nuisance calls. But you can push that big red button and create your own database. So you block the people you do not want to speak to. You can push that block button and block up to 1,000 callers. If you block somebody by mistake, you can unblock them. We've got another call coming in. Let's see who this is.
That'll be it.
Let's see. It's going to be, isn't it? Let's see. Hello, who's that? You did figure out the phone.
I did.
Now we're gonna imagine you're a nuisance right now.
No,
okay?
don't block me. Don't block
me.
me.
Too late. We're gonna block you. Block.
Sorry,
and we can see on the screen there.
We're ruthless.
Successful. So if he tries to call again, he won't get through. But here's the good thing. Look at this. Here I can scroll through all the numbers that I've blocked. So I can press up and down. I can see they've tried to phone me, they've tried to phone me, they've tried to phone me, and I can block them. So he's still trying, and he's not going to get through.
And the only way he would ever get through is if we decided to unblock him. So let's, for a moment, really think about this. Maybe this is, solicitors. Maybe this is a marketing company. Maybe this is the robotic calls. People asking you to vote for something, mortgage refinancing. All these calls that we seem to get all the time at the worst and most inappropriate times. Really early in the morning when you're sleeping. Maybe when you're having dinner. Maybe when you're trying to spend some quality time with your family. Maybe there's somebody that you don't want to answer the phone to. Somebody that you don't even want to have to see that they are calling. Maybe this is an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or ex-wife or husband or friend that you're not friends with. I mean, we're just talking real life. You don't want to have to decline the call. You don't want to have to see the call. You don't want to even know it happened. When you press the red button, right in the center, it will block it. What I love is what James said, is that when you get your call blocker for the first time on American television, we're sending it to you with 200 of the worst offenders. The companies, the people, the folks that are known to be nuisance callers. This is pre-programmed, so it will already block them. It's a brilliant product. It's an easy product, a simple product, a great idea. In the UK, every single time that James is on with this, it sells out in a heartbeat. My mom, my mom's called in a couple times.
Yep.
Yeah, she would happily say how amazing this is, because it just, it's one of those gadgets that really makes life more pleasurable, easier. It doesn't take time out of your day. So we do have a counter now going down. We have our clock counting down as well. The latest information I got is with 500 people in the ordering process, this will be completely sold out. Again, let us send it to you. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee. We send it with free shipping. It is on 3 FlexPay. Just like with iFetch and just like with Bondic, if James was going to be here next week, I could say, well, let's think about it. James is leaving on a jet plane back to London in just a few hours. He flew in just for this presentation, just for this opportunity. So, James, for anybody that's just tuning in, channel surfing, I'm making a big deal about this. Let's start from the beginning.
Of course. So if you get nuisance telephone calls at home, whether they are robocalls, political calls, survey calls, people trying to sell you stuff, people trying to scam you, or maybe this is for someone that has those problems and you want to help them out, give them the gift of peace and quiet with this. This will work with your phone, no matter who your phone line provider is, doesn't matter which phone you've got. If you've got several phones in the house on one line, you only need one. It arrives pre-programmed with 200 nuisance callers. So the minute you plug this in, you're going to get a reduction in nuisance calls. If you do receive a nuisance call, whether you've already answered the phone or not, you can push the big red block now button. That's going to cut them off. It's going to store their number and they're going to never get through to you again. You've got this great 3-inch digital screen here, so if your caller ID is enabled on your phone line, you need to make sure you have caller ID. You will see the number coming up on the screen. You can block them. You can unblock somebody if you block them by mistake. This has no batteries, no mains power. It draws its power from your phone line. There's no complicated setup. You don't need to register it. You don't need to activate it. There's no subscriptions or ongoing charges. You buy it for one time and it will work for life. If you move house, take it. take it with you.
And that's such a big point. I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of folks, I know that the people on the Monday Night Show team, when I was kind of telling them all about it, their biggest fear was that there was a monthly fee or a monthly service fee or a subscription. Nothing. It is, to your point, it's a one-time purchase. Once you have it, once you bring it into your home, you have got it. And all it means is all those nuisance calls are going to go absolutely away. In the closing moments, do you mind, James, just showing the reverse of this so we can see what we're plugging in and where?
Of course. I'm going to turn it around so that you can see exactly what happens. So right now, your phone has a cable that goes from the phone into the wall. You are going to disconnect that cable and you're going to plug the phone line into the back where it says line. Just like that.
Okay.
And this cable comes inside the box, and you're going to run this from the telephone socket in here directly into your phone. And that's it. It's set up. You don't need to plug in any other cables. You haven't got to get a power supply or change the batteries every year or two.
Right.
That's it. It's ready to go.
Do you know what I really like about it as well? Because you've got such a big 3-inch caller display, you know, even calls that you're going to answer, when somebody's calling in, you can see it much more easily. You can see the number, you can see who's calling in, so much bigger than if you were using just the regular phones, because the display is so much larger. So if you want to buy this for somebody you know, maybe it's mom who always complains to you on the phone, I can't stop these people from calling, I wish they'd stop calling. If it's you know, an ex-boyfriend that will not leave you alone, this is the way to do it. You know, it's funny because in the back, our director Chris was saying, well, you know, we're approaching election year, and that's big.
I just had that problem in the UK, literally 1-2 months ago, getting phone calls. We'd love to count on your vote. Are you going to vote for us? Will you give a donation? Here's another thing. If you maybe have once subscribed to a service or given money to someone, maybe it's a charity or whoever it might be, and they share your number with other people, and they phone you and they phone you again. Can you help more often? Can you help us again? Or will you subscribe to this? Or can you help us with this? It's very sometimes difficult to say, no, thank you, can you call me back later? With this, you can say, I'm not interested, thank you. You can be polite. Or just push the button. You can block them, and you know they're not going to be able to call you back.
And that as well, think about that, because a lot of us, my mum specifically, you know, if somebody calls my mum, even if it's a solicitor, she will talk to them because she doesn't like to be rude and say, no, go away, goodbye, I don't want to talk right now. So she'll entertain it, she'll talk through it. And, you know, if somebody's calling and asking for something, or asking for something that you know, maybe you did donate, but maybe they're calling again and again and again and again, sometimes it's very hard to say no, because you don't want to, because it's not in your nature to say no. You don't have to say no, because this does it for you. It blocks it. It's brilliant. We are going to be calling this gone momentarily. This is how it's going to come to you, brand new box. Remember, all pre-programmed with the most kind of nuisance numbers that are out there right now, 200 of them. It is a British invention, but it really does. It helps stop all these scam calls. James, just last week, I had a call. I mean, the colour drained from my face. Listen to this. Somebody called me up and said, can we have the name of your lawyer? I was like, my lawyer? Why am I lawyer? I don't have a lawyer.
What have they found out?
They said the IRS is going to be coming to arrest you for tax evasion. I swear, I was like, I haven't done anything, I promise. Do you know the only thing that gave it away was that I could hear in the background somebody else saying the same thing to another caller. But this is something that we're facing all the time.
But you know what? Scams are a big problem for people. My grandmother, she was scammed recently where someone phoned up and said there was a virus on her computer. She had to pay money for them to unblock it. She doesn't have a computer, but that really worried her. This could be the gift of peace of mind for someone that maybe you're worried about. Maybe it's you that's annoyed by nuisance calls, but maybe someone you know, someone you love, someone you care for, you don't want them being scammed. You don't want them having to get up sometimes late at night, early in the morning to answer the phone when it's just a nuisance caller. This, they can block it. It's easy. They don't need to read any manuals. It's easy to update. Everybody can use this.
Brilliant idea. Great invention. No subscription, no fees, no hassles, no worries. Everybody can use it. I think this is going to save a lot of time. It's going to save a lot of hassle. Genius idea that doesn't require anything at all special from you. There is no charge. There is no fees. It just works. James, they did just now tell me in my ear that we have 100 left with everyone in the ordering process.
I'm not surprised. Every time I do this in the UK, this exact same thing happens, because everyone says, do you know what? I really hate nuisance calls. They really frustrate me. I don't have time for them. They interrupt me. They always call it dinner time, or they're trying to put the kids to bed, or when you've got guests round, the phone rings. Who is it? Who could it be? Now is the time to solve that problem. Block them. You only need to buy one of these, even if you have 3 or 4 phones in your home, long as they're on the same line, long as you have caller ID. It doesn't matter what type of phone you have or who provides your phone line. Even if it's a VoIP number, one of those internet service providers, you can still use this. This will work for you and you will absolutely love it. You'll be telling your friends all the time. So,
do you know what? I don't want to talk to them. Blocked, gone.
I'm not even going to answer it. They're blocked.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
Officially sold out. I don't know if you knew this, but when you sell out on the Monday night show, you get a
wow.
pin.
Thank you so much.
There's the actual one that you'll use.
I love it.
Display.
Display purposes only.
You're very high budget on this show.